All right. Today is today's a Tuesday. That's about all I can say right now. It is July 20th. Okay, Tuesday, July 20th. Man, the last few weeks have been quite a little adventure, a unique experience for me. So, as I've said in some previous posts, Emily and I, my wife, we had a child, we had a daughter. As of today, our daughter is 3 weeks old, and we've got two other boys, 9 and 11. Rick, I see you. How are you, sir? And so 3 weeks old, and I will say, I'm the stepdad to the two other boys. I came into their lives when they were 3 and 5. Phenomenal, fantastic young men, of which I am honored to be a part of their life. But I missed the 0 through 3. Heard the stories, right? I always heard the stories. Well, I'm living it right now, and yeah, it's rugged. It's definitely rugged. 3 weeks here with the newborn. Now, all things, being fair, it's not rugged like I'm sure storming the beaches at Normandy was rugged. Okay, I get that, a little bit of context, but it's a rugged experience. So, in a word, I would say exhaustion. Very tired. I'm sipping coffee as we drink this. Uh, I'm very, very, very tired. And relating to these videos, of course, that's a huge deal when you want to also maintain your fitness, right? Move that body around, move some external objects, run fast, and all of a sudden you're just walking around like a zombie. So it has kind of been an interesting experience to make me not, yeah, I guess, reshape some expectations, if you will. Because if I still right now had the same expectations that I did a few months ago, I would be living in a world of disappointment with what's going on with my workout. So for that, it's actually been therapeutic and informative in a very interesting way. So we'll dive in. So for example, let's take a couple of the last workouts that we've done recently at Linchpin. And I will say I've done quite a fairly good job of not letting my nutrition get off the rails. So that's been really helpful. The sleep's kind of out of my hands, and I am getting in workouts. I think in 3 weeks I've missed 2 workouts, all things considered. So if it's 5 workouts a week, 3 weeks, I normally would have worked out 15 times by now. I think I've got in 13 out of 15 workouts. So I'm personally going to call that a huge win in the newborn baby category. 13 out of 15 workouts. Nutrition has still been good. And then the third factor, sleep. It's in the toilet at the moment. Last night was also a very, very rugged, bad night. But okay, who cares? Life goes on. Got stuff to do. We're talking right now on the old interwebs. And I'm sipping my coffee. So let's talk about the two recent workouts that came up on Linchpin that are repeat benchmark workouts, which, and maybe you're in some situation in your life right now, kind of like I am, doesn't have to be a baby, it can be anything that is just disruptive to your normal routine. A new job, a new stressor, maybe you're moving, whatever it happens to be. And now a repeat workout comes up, one that I've done multiple times. I've got plenty of data on it. I know where I've been, I know where I should be. Expectations are high. You feel that bit of performance pressure and anxiety that, okay, I got to hit these numbers that I've hit before. And if I don't, I better at least be darn close, right? Even if I don't hit them, can't PR every day, realize that, but I better be darn close. But if I'm way off, oh no, crazy CrossFitter, gonna crawl into my head, think that the sky is falling, everything I've done for the last 16 years of working out is now meaningless and worthless, it's in the toilet, bad day in the gym, and just, it spirals. So you have to wrangle those feelings, okay? Whatever you get going on in your life, you got to wrangle those feelings so that you're in charge. So the most recent deadlift benchmark that came up was on 7/13, July 13th, deadlift 7 by 1. We've done deadlift 7 by 1 a ton. Knew where I should be. Historically speaking, for me anyway, at least all of those singles are going to be somewhere over 400 pounds. I don't know how I'd feel that day, but could be 405, could be 425. It's going to be somewhere over 400, right? That's like the number I have in my head as to that was a good 7x1 deadlift in the day, for me anyway. Walked into the gym feeling like a truck. I've been hit by a truck. Sleep has not been my friend. And what the deadlift looked like on that day was I put 135 on the bar. I did 7 repetitions. Looked at the clock, rested 2 minutes. During the 2 minutes, I loaded the bar to 185. I did a set of 7 at 185. During the 2-minute rest, I loaded the bar to 225. Did a set of 7. During the 2-minute rest, put on 275. I did a set of 7. During the 2 minutes rest, I got to 315. I did a set of 7 at 315. So I'm about 100 pounds. Now, that was a set of 7. The workout's 7x1 singles. But at that one set of 7 at 315, I was about 100 pounds under what I hoped to do for my singles. And 100 pounds is a long ways away, right? And I'm here to tell you it felt like 1,000 pounds. So I was like, oh no, I'm feeling tired and weak today. So during that 2 minutes rest, I put on another set of 25s on each side of the bar, got the barbell up to 365 pounds, and then I told myself I was just going to see how that felt, because I've done a set of 7 or 8 before, touch and go, with 365, but that wasn't with a newborn in the house exhausted. So I was going to give myself some grace, some patience, and just say this is a new 365 pounds in the bar. I've got no idea, even though historically speaking, I think I know what 365 feels like. Today's a wildly different day. So let's see what 365 feels like today, and we'll play it by ear. And also, time was running down. I didn't have time to just screw around for an hour in the gym, and so I was only going to get 1 or 2 more sets in. Picked up that 365 pounds, immediately knew that a set of touch and go 7 was not going to happen, and that a single at 365 pounds was going to be appropriate. And that became my 7x1 deadlift day. I did 7 quick singles at 365 pounds. So I did not do touch and go. I did dead stop, reset, releasing and resetting tension every time. I didn't rest the 2 minutes between each. I probably rested 20 seconds between each lift, so I kept them relatively quick as I could safely move. I did 7 singles at 365 pounds. Put the weights away, walked into the gym, equally as fatigued head to toe in my central nervous system as I would have felt traditionally deadlifting north of 400 pounds, because the effort was there. Who cares? And this is the tough thing for CrossFitters to wrap their heads around, myself included. Again, depending upon all the factors that you have going on in your life, from stressing to sleep to nutrition to the workout you did the day before, some things are relative, right? So what was important on that deadlift day in the gym for me was the effort, and the effort was there. The loading on the barbell was very different. Who cares? Who cares? Now, the truth is, most of us care. And most of us care very much. And most of us let it bother us if the loading on the bar isn't a number in our head that somehow we have just magically equated to that's a good session in the gym. Yep, that loading makes it okay. Nope, that loading means that it was a bad day. So that has been and it's something I speak about frequently here at Linchpin, because, again, it's not a joke. It's a very real thing that people deal with that can make working out less fun and too stressful. And I'm living one of those situations right now, which is a real life example that we talk about regularly. And even though I communicate this message on a regular basis, it's been equally challenging and hard for me to have that discipline and refocus and be like, look, you tell other people this stuff all the time. Now it's time for you to walk the walk and talk the talk. This was a good session in the gym, so relax. So that was my deadlift day. And then yesterday, we had another repeat benchmark workout. Yesterday was July 19th, and it was a fantastic workout, a burner. One of the original CrossFit Games open workouts all the way back from 2011. It's CrossFit Open 11.1. It was repeated a few years after that, but it's 11.1. 10-minute AMRAP, 30 double unders, and 15 power snatch, light power snatch, 75 pounds for the men, 55 pounds for the women. 100% trap. 100% trap because it's lightweight, right? It's an absolute burner. Beautiful workout. And how yesterday worked out. Walked into the gym again. Didn't have a tremendous amount of time, but I had enough. I had enough. I had 30 minutes. I had plenty of time to make this happen. And one of the other things that is a unique factor in my life now as well, like I said, we've got 3 kids, 2 older boys, just had the daughter. Baby's obviously taking up a lot of time, just the way that newborns are. So I try to keep in the back of my mind, you've got to make sure you're giving the other 2 kids what they need and they're not feeling neglected and resentful that you're spending so much time with a newborn. And so it's a heck of a tightrope to walk, right? So I figured our boys like to do stuff physically, the little athletes. So I grabbed one of them, our younger one, Nash, the 9-year-old. I said, hey, do you want to do a quick warm up with me in the garage? And he's like, yeah, okay. And they get very, very excited if anything's going to be like on video. So I'm like, you know what? We can do it as a live video to the CrossFit Linchpin private Facebook group. And he's like, oh, very cool. Okay, let's do that. So that fired him up. So that was my way to make that happen. And so he got involved, actually also helped me warm up and getting to spend time with him. And we did on video for the private track Facebook group 50 burpees for time, just as fast as we could. So I was exhausted. Who cares? Again, got to do this stuff. And I raced a 9-year-old. And I got smoked by the 9-year-old. Not smoked. I can't say smoked. That's unfair. He beat me by about 10 seconds. So I'm going to say that was actually pretty good. It was super fun. It was super tough. Stone cold 50 burpees. I think that took me 2 minutes and 56 seconds, which I'm very happy with, by the way. And so it was great to spend some time with him. I was most certainly warm, I'll tell you that, by the end of it. But what wasn't smart about that was that 50 burpees for time as a quote-unquote warm-up was such a stinger and left me huffing and puffing like I'd just done Fran or something, or run a hard 800-meter run, right? Like it's about that same time domain. That's not the ideal way to set yourself up for success, to set a PR on a repeat benchmark workout. You typically shouldn't just exhaust and redline yourself with something right beforehand. So again, I had to realize that I'm retempering expectations, different priorities. This was a priority to move my body. It was also a priority to spend some time with one of our boys. And if doing that in a fun way affected my workout performance, who cares? Who cares? And so, now again, like I said, truth is, most of us care very much. But having that internal conversation was important, and that's what I had to have yesterday. And so I took a few minutes to recover, and then didn't even want to break out the barbell. So I said, you know what? I grabbed a 50-pound dumbbell, kind of like to do the limited equipment option, and the limited equipment option would still be a 10-minute AMRAP, 30 double unders, but then 15 one-arm dumbbell snatches with a 50-pounder for me anyway. And then I modified it in even one more way because I said, you know what? I just want to move and get in as many reps as I can in this 10-minute period. And I'm so tired, just in general. And then I smoke myself with those burpees that I can see a world record number of trips happening on the jump rope with the double under, like just tripping for 10 minutes and getting very, very few snatches in, very few anything else, and the frustration growing. So I made a judgment call right there and said, you know what? I'm not going to do double unders. I put the rope away. I had the dumbbell there, and I said in place of the 30 double unders, I'm going to do 25 jumping jacks. And I did 25 jumping jacks because I timed it in the first round. I hit the clock, the timer started. I knew about how long 30 double unders, an unbroken set, would take me, so I just did jumping jacks staring at the clock. When the clock got to that point that 30 double unders would take, I stopped doing jumping jacks and said, that's my number for this workout. And it happened to be, I knew it would be somewhere close to 30, but not exactly, 25 jumping jacks. So my workout was a 10-minute AMRAP, 25 jumping jacks, 15 one-arm dumbbell power snatches. And it was great and terrible all at the same time because while jumping jacks certainly don't have the neurological component of a double under, meaning the coordination, accuracy, agility, and balance, they'll spike your heart rate. You're moving your body, you're whipping your arms and legs around, you're jumping every repetition. But the kind of cool thing about jumping jacks is you're not going to have a miss. So there's never this small reprieve that you just stand there, step through the rope, and reset. You're constantly moving. So it actually worked out really well for me. So I did that, and I think I got 7 complete rounds, and then 25 jumping jacks into the round of 8 in that 10-minute window. Put the dumbbell away, walked in the house, and was good to go. But that was again a benchmark workout that I certainly know my previous numbers on, and there's certainly that performance pressure, and I changed it, I modified it, I did something different, and I'm okay with that. So again, didn't PR in 2 benchmark workouts. I don't care, and I didn't try to. And this experience thus far, 3 weeks into my new daughter's life, has helped kind of crystallize why I do CrossFit. And it's the reason that I already knew, but it's just really helped cement it in my personal opinion. So everyone's different, but this is just mine. And I work out personally for long-term health and fitness. Period. End of story. I work out to have a high quality of life, to have capacity and the ability to do anything that I want to do on planet Earth. And in the words of Adrian Bosman, I work out so that I can say yes. Adrian Bosman said that, and I think it's fantastic that working out and having fitness allows you to say yes to do things. Want to go on that hike? Do you want to play ball with your kid? Do you want to go camping? Do you want to work in the backyard for 4 hours? So like whatever it is, it gives you the ability to say yes. And that is exactly why I work out. And I don't need to PR those last 2 benchmark workouts in order to meet all of those goals that I just said as to why I work out every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a human being, right? Even though I try to control it, I've got pride, I've got ego, I've got all those sort of things. PRs feel great. They're fantastic. Who doesn't want them? So when they come, yeah, great, celebrate them, but realize they're also not necessary potentially to get you where you want to go, and they're elusive. They may come or go depending upon a whole bunch of other factors in your life. So, the pressure is a very real thing for people, the PR pressure, and it can take the joy and the fun out of walking into the gym. So just make sure that doesn't happen to you. And here's another interesting thing. We've done a whole podcast on this. It was a long time ago, one of the early Linchpin Conversations, and maybe it could be time to blow the dust off that and just do this as a kind of a repeat podcast. But it's an interesting thing that might confuse a young CrossFitter or a new CrossFitter when I say that workouts, including benchmark and repeat workouts, are not, are not programmed for you to set a PR. That is not why I programmed 7x1 deadlift. That's not why I programmed open workout 11.1. The workouts are programmed based upon what we need to do that day. So based upon what the previous week's training, the previous day's training was, when that 7x1 deadlift day came up, it made sense on that day of training to have this beautiful symphony of movements, of how the body performs work, of time domains, of loadings, of metabolic conditioning to strength days. It made sense on that day to pull heavy from the ground 7 singles. That's why 7x1 deadlift was programmed on that day. If you happen to set a PR on that day, awesome, fantastic. High fives, chest bumps, celebrations, fireworks. Legitimately, great. But if you don't, and this is the powerful and important mind shift to actually have, if you're going to be working out for not just a couple years, but for decades and decades, you don't need to PR on that day. What you need to do in that day is deadlift 7x1. You just need to deadlift heavy on that day. Whatever heavy happens to feel like on that day, that's what your body needed. Good to go, PR or not. And same day, same mindset, on that CrossFit Open 11.1. What you needed to do in that day was about a 10-minute time domain workout of light weight, just a burner going from ground to overhead with a metabolic conditioning piece there of the gymnastics, of the jump rope as well. That's what was needed on that day to have that beautiful symphony of variance to make your general physical preparedness drive forward. You didn't necessarily need to PR in 11.1. You needed what was the elements of that workout. Those are what were needed on that day based upon where we've been, where we are that day, and where we're going. And that's something that is a little bit of a nuanced level and a more sophisticated level in what I hope is eventually everyone's evolution in their understanding of CrossFit programming, and what working out for life, for long-term health and fitness actually means. And like I said, if you PR, awesome. I mean, it's fantastic. And lastly, I'll say, and this was another whole podcast episode as well, but it's tied into these topics, is while those workouts were programmed just because that's what was needed on those days, then what you need to do when you walk into the gym is you just need to focus on, okay, I know what my programming is today. My job as the athlete is to have a good day in the gym. And again, we've done a whole show on this, but the quick encapsulation is that a good day in the gym is you walk in, you look at the workout, you perform the warm-up because it's critical. You start to build up your working weight after the warm-up towards whatever the working weight is for the actual workout of the day, so that you're ready to go. During the warm-up and the building up of the workup weight, or a couple practice rounds, you're paying attention to your body. You're aware of how you've slept. You're aware of the stressors in your life. You're aware of how your nutrition's been. And based upon those factors, you take your ego out of the equation and you decide, yep, the prescribed workout of the day, as is, fits beautifully for me. That's what I'm going to do. Or, you know what? Scaling or modifying the workout in some way, that's the smart thing to do today. Whichever is the smarter decision for you, that's the one that you do. Modify the movements a little bit, the loading, the rep range, whatever it happens to be. Or you can also, and this again is more nuanced as you're, because sometimes it's lost on newer CrossFitters, you can modify the intensity. You can not have to just stomp the gas to the floor every day. You can say, hey, you know what, how I'm feeling today? Today is just a kind of middle of the road day. We're just going to kind of move at a casual pace, and that's going to be good to go. Because whatever that is, it's the smart decision. So that's what I mean. You walk into the gym, you warm up, you assess yourself, you assess the workout of the day, you make whatever is the smartest decision for yourself right there. You take ego out of the equation, you perform the workout, you note your timer loading, whatever it happens to be. You finish the workout pain and injury free. You do your cool down. If you're going to do some accessories, whatever it happens to be, and you walk out of the gym. That is a good day in the gym. And notice how a good day in the gym didn't involve setting a PR. Again, if it does, fantastic, but you don't have to set a PR to have a good day in the gym. And if you just have that mindset and you try to have a good day in the gym every time you walk in, good days turn into good weeks. Good weeks turn into good months. And that accumulation of good days and weeks and months in the gym leads to great things. And that's how powerful, fantastic, wonderful things happen. PRs come and all that good stuff. It doesn't come necessarily through chasing PRs. It comes through chasing good days in the gym. So, yeah, I think that's it. I am going to go have a second cup of coffee and start my day. So to everybody out there in the Linchpin community, keep being awesome, and we will talk again.